What are we in the golden age of? Not many people realize this, but we are currently in the golden age of dinosaur discovery. We are currently discovering new species at the rate of one per week. In the past month we've described Vespersaurus, and in the past 4 days we've gotten Notatoceroraptor and Hesperornithoids. It's not just new dinosaurs, but newer and better technologies are helping us better reconstruct their world. More powerful computers make processing larger datasets possible, like the study that resurrected Brontosaurus as a valid genus. It had every single individual animal that has been thought to be a diplodocoid scored for 477 different anatomical features, which adds up to a pretty big dataset. CT scans allow us to reconstruct their brains and allow us to figure out how they sensed the world and interacted with each other. And SEM imaging and some incredibly preserved fossils have allowed us to actually recreate the color of certain dinosaurs. This is a fantastic time for dinosaurs. Edit. Wow. I didn't expect this much attention, you guys are awesome. And thanks for the gold. Edit 2. Holy crap. Platinum. I don't deserve this, you all are too kind. Is there a specific journal or sub dedicated to announcing new paleontological discoveries? Potable water. Everybody is reading this as portable, but potable water just means it's safe to drink. Definitely the golden age of convenience. If you live in a big modern city, you're able to order almost everything the earth produces and get it delivered in a couple of hours, Amazon Super Express shipment, Uber Eats, etc. Podcasts. Memes. It's the point where they are literally weaponized and used for cyber warfare. That's how we have flat earthers and anti-vaxxers. Porn, man. There's porn for everything. Dude, how are there so many brands making water bottles? How? Beer. I can go out every night of the week, all year long, and never try the same beer twice. And they're all pretty delicious. Also, now I may be an alcoholic. Golden age of alcoholism as well. You now have the ability to be a refined alcoholic. This is perhaps the case for 10% of the world's population. Information. Imagine telling someone 100 years ago that people carry the collective knowledge of humanity in their pockets. You have a bold name. I respect that. Golden ages, just look at all these comments. By practically any measure, this is statistically the best time to be alive. Not only are health, safety, and wealth at an all-time high, but advancements and interest in nearly all kinds of hobbies and entertainment have exploded with the networking capability of the internet. Obviously it's not perfect, but the vast majority of people throughout history wouldn't even be able to comprehend the luxury that an average first-world citizen commands today. Makes you wonder if it's a golden or a dark age. Misinformation. It's so easy to proliferate now, and we all live in echo chambers. You didn't say it had to be a golden age of something good. We're living in the age of the geek, for sure. Nerdy hobbies have gone mainstream. D&D is everywhere, and most people who want to play can find a group relatively easily. Comic books are among the most prominent forms of media. We've just had an 11-year, multi-billion-dollar franchise starring some of the more esoteric characters. It's not just Batman and Superman and Spider-Man anymore. Now you've got a movie series where 2 of the leads are a talking tree and a talking raccoon. A fantasy show about dragons wasn't just popular, but was considered prestige TV. One of the biggest language learning websites in the world offers courses in Klingon, Esperanto, and High Valyrian. I'm pretty sure if you told someone who grew up nerdy in the 80s that that was what the future looked like, they'd think you were nuts. I think it's important to note that while comic books have been turned into everything under the sun, and the characters have never been more popular, comic books themselves are at the lowest point of cultural relevance they've ever been. No one reads them to the point that if a book sells anywhere near 100,000 copies, that's a banner fucking book, and the writing is universally and rightly derided as trash. The comic book has been replaced by manga. Is there porn for Katie from work? Disposable bullshit masquerading as the pinnacle of technology. Board games? There are more people playing them and more people making them than ever before. Okay, in this game you're a Portuguese tile layer decorating a wall in the royal palace. What? 50 games later. Who's up for another round? Natataceroraptor. Don't call it Tesseraraptor. That's my contribution to this insightful post. I feel a bit like the angel of podcast death, to be honest. I listen to a lot of audio dramas, and several times in the past year or two I've started a new series while it's still in production active. And then I catch up on their archive, which takes months. By the time I'm fully caught up, the series will have ended. These are long-running shows that lasted several years. Kind of a weird coincidence, and makes me worry that maybe the audio drama market is shrinking. On the other hand, they all had good endings and finished with the story. So I'm pretty sure it's just a coincidence plus integrity move, not the start of some weird apocalypse. Horsepower. If you had told me just 15 years ago that it would be common to have 450 plus HP stock and still get 25 plus mpg with all the creature comforts and for a reasonable price, there's no way anyone would have believed it. Yet here we are with the Mustang GT, Camaro SS, Challenger RT and even the Corvette. Streaming services. Nerdy things. Now is the absolute best time to be a nerd. People don't look down on you, in fact they encourage it. On top of that there is a giant number of fantasy sci-fi and comic book movies and TV shows coming out. We're so in the golden age of average educated people preferring sex work, camming, escorting, selling panties, over fighting to work in the vanilla workforce. Noticed much less hot nurses these days? You will. Plastic pollution. The golden age of depression. Advertising. Almost every meme on Reddit, Factbook, Instagram. You name the social media platform, is filled to the brim with children thinking they're original by making a meme which mentions some product or service. You're doing yourself a disservice by not actually thinking about what sort of effect this has. The most effective way to advertise is to shove something to a consumer as often as possible. When you walk around a store and you see a product you've heard about, your brain goes, oh, that's a good thing, I've heard about this somewhere. It's a trait we've developed through thousands of years of evolution. Not to mention how humor and good mood plays directly into the agenda. Think about it the next time you see name of personal assistance technology, play insert mainstream pop song here. Three things happen here: you're mentioning the product by name, you're mentioning a core functionality of that product, and you're also giving further exposure to an already saturated pocket of money. I haven't heard this song before, let's check it out. Then you go to your media outlet of choice, play the song, of course it's catchy because that's how it's designed, and you're automatically part of the herd. The transistor. Clickbait headlines. Disinformation. Television. It still has its problems and a long way to go, but honestly, the stuff being made now is so much better than what it used to be. The stuff we all love from before is still good, but quality stuff is a lot more common and accessible now than ever before. Endless filler episodes, the default expectation of every episode being erased by a reset button, clips shows, a complete lack of continuity, characters having totally different personalities from episode to episode, as different writers each got their turn. All of these things are less common now than 20 years ago. As a medium, television has come a long way. Gonna have people disagree, but I say music. Not only do we still have access to all the early stuff, but it is even easier now to get access to it with streaming and downloading. There is also so much more to experience, not just because streaming allows nearly anyone to get their stuff out there, but self-producing content is so much more possible with the way technology has evolved. One may argue that most of it is shit quality, but we forget that survivorship bias has only exposed most of us to the quality content of the past, and that there was in fact a large amount of shitty music back then too. Ass eating. Being enraged as a hobby lifestyle. Craft beer. Never been a better time to be an alcoholic. Apathy. Porn. If you have a fetish, there's probably porn of it. Debt. Raiding Area 51. Dungeons and Dragons, probably. There's so much content and material being produced, it's beyond the age of it just being a niche thing and is on the way to become fully mainstream. Honestly, peace. Sure, we're far from being a perfect society, everyone's still selfish, everyone still has their own agenda, but we've never been this peaceful at any point of history. On a completely different note, we're in the golden age of reboot films. Propaganda. Depression and anxiety. Marijuana. Marvel movies.